Welcome! As we step into November, we find ourselves in a month of transformation, a time when the landscape, the weather, and even our daily routines begin to shift in noticeable ways. Let's dive into what a typical British November brings. The air feels heavier, often thick with moisture, and the sky is painted in endless shades of gray. Parks and countryside paths are quieter now, as the last of the autumn visitors retreat indoors, leaving behind a world that feels both peaceful and a little melancholic. November's the true turning point. Autumn's warmth fades and winter's chill creeps in. The trees, once ablaze with color, now shed their leaves in earnest, creating a patchwork of browns and golds underfoot. It's a visual reminder that the year is winding down, and nature is preparing for its winter rest. This is also the season of puddles and mud, where children in wellies splash through waterlogged paths and gardeners race to clear the last leaves before the frost sets in. The air carries a distinct earthy scent, a mix of damp soil and decaying leaves, unique to this time of year. Days shorten, temperatures drop, and the vibrant leaves of October become a soggy, brown carpet. The sun, when it does appear, sits low in the sky, casting long shadows and a pale, silvery light that feels different from the golden glow of early autumn. The Atlantic dominates, sending in waves of cloud, rain, and blustery winds, keeping things damp rather than truly cold. Umbrellas become a daily companion, and the sound of rain tapping on windows is a familiar backdrop to November life. Frosts become more common, especially in rural and northern areas, but severe cold usually waits until later. Early risers might spot a delicate layer of white on the grass and hedgerows, sparkling briefly before the weak sun melts it away. Indoors, the comforts of November come to the fore. Hot drinks, warm jumpers, and the gentle hum of radiators. It's a time for slowing down, for finding small joys in the rituals that help us cope with the encroaching cold and darkness. Foggy mornings and unpredictable weather mean you'll need both a waterproof and a scarf at hand. The mist can transform familiar streets into mysterious landscapes, softening the edges of the world and making every walk feel a little more magical. It's the last sigh of autumn before winter settles in, nudging us indoors and into heavier coats. The final colorful leaves drift down, and the anticipation of winter's arrival grows with each passing day. As November progresses, hints of the festive season begin to appear. Shop windows glow with early decorations, and the first twinkling lights brighten the long evenings, offering a sense of warmth and community even as the weather turns colder. November sets the stage for the festive season, with gray skies and the first real hints of winter's bite. It's a month of transition, of endings and beginnings, reminding us to appreciate the quiet beauty of change. As November 2025 begins, the weather is mild but unsettled. Strong westerly winds from the Atlantic, driven by low pressure to the west and high pressure to the east, funnel in milder air from the south. Expect a mix of sunshine and sharp blustery showers, especially frequent in the north and west. The south and east will see more dry spells, but rain is never far away. Winds will be gusty at times, particularly along western coasts and hills. The Atlantic keeps things moving, so no weather pattern lingers for long. The big headline: it's unusually warm for November, despite the damp and breezy conditions. But a dramatic change is brewing just over the horizon. Let's zoom in on the rain and see how this week's weather is shaping up across the UK. As we move into the heart of autumn, the country is bracing for a particularly wet spell, with rain clouds gathering and showers set to dominate the forecast. The atmosphere is charged with moisture, and the stage is set for a series of rain events that will impact nearly every corner of the nation. There's plenty of rain coming this first week, and it's not just a passing shower or two. Instead, we're looking at a sustained period of wet weather, with multiple systems queuing up to bring heavy downpours and persistent drizzle. The skies will be a familiar shade of gray, and umbrellas will be a common sight on the streets. Showers will first break out in the north and west, but the real action begins as a major band of rain sweeps in from the Atlantic on Monday. This system is set to bring widespread, heavy, and persistent downpours, soaking the ground and swelling rivers. The rain will move quickly, but its effects will linger, leaving behind saturated fields and overflowing streams. Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and the southwest of England will bear the brunt of these downpours. These regions are at the highest risk for localized flooding, especially in low-lying areas and places where the ground is already saturated from previous rainfall. Rivers and streams could rise rapidly, and travel may be disrupted by standing water and flooded roads. As if that weren't enough, another potent weather system is set to arrive by Monday afternoon, targeting Ireland first. This next wave of rain will drench the Irish countryside, turning fields into temporary lakes and making travel conditions challenging. From there, the rain will push steadily eastward, spreading across the rest of the UK. The wet weather doesn't let up as we head into Tuesday. The focus shifts to areas around the Irish Sea and the southwest of England, where rain will continue to fall, sometimes heavily. Commuters should be prepared for slow journeys, and localized flooding remains a concern, especially in areas prone to waterlogging. Throughout the rest of the week, a succession of rain-bearing fronts will keep most of the UK under a damp spell. Only the east and southeast may see occasional breaks in the clouds, offering brief respite from the rain. For many though, it will feel like a never-ending parade of showers and drizzle, with little chance for the ground to dry out. It's a classic autumn setup, with swirling winds and rain-soaked landscapes. But what really stands out this week is the sheer intensity and persistence of these rain bands. The rainfall totals could be well above average for this time of year, and the combination of wind and rain will make it feel even more unsettled. So, if you're heading out, waterproofs and sturdy footwear are absolutely essential. Whether you're walking the dog, commuting to work, or just popping to the shops, be prepared for a very damp week ahead. Keep an eye on local forecasts for flood warnings, and take care on the roads as conditions could be hazardous. This is autumn in the UK at its wettest and wildest. Despite the rain, the real surprise is the warmth. Thanks to a southerly twist in the wind, air from Spain and the Azores pushes temperatures well above average. Monday could see highs of 14 on 16 degradin, with even Scotland reaching 13-14 degradin. By midweek, bonfire night could hit 16 and 17 degrees in the east, exceptionally mild for November. This warmth lingers through Friday, so winter coats can stay in the closet a bit longer. It's a muggy, damp and breezy week, strange for this time of year. Enjoy it while it lasts. A much colder pattern is on the way. The weather maps are hinting at a dramatic shift for mid-month. Just as we settle into the mild spell, forecast models signal a major change for mid-November. All major models agree. A dramatic reorganization is coming, centered around the jet stream. The jet stream will weaken and meander, allowing high pressure to build near Iceland and Greenland. A setup called Atlantic ridging. This block shuts out the usual westerly winds, forcing air to come from the north or northeast. The result, cold air from the Arctic and Scandinavia heads straight for the UK. We'll shift from mild, wet, and windy to much colder and possibly drier conditions. This is the pivotal moment, winter's true arrival. The change will be sharp and unmistakable. Let's break down the Greenland Block, one of the most influential, yet often misunderstood, weather patterns that can shape the climate across the UK and much of Europe. When meteorologists talk about a Greenland Block, they're referring to a powerful atmospheric phenomenon that can completely change the way our weather behaves for weeks at a time. It's the key to our upcoming weather, acting almost like a giant atmospheric roadblock that disrupts the usual west-to-east flow of weather systems from the Atlantic. Instead of mild, wet air sweeping in from the ocean, the Greenland Block forces a dramatic change in the air masses that reach the UK. A Greenland Block is essentially a persistent high-pressure area that parks itself over Greenland. This high-pressure system acts like a wall, diverting the usual Atlantic flow far to the south or north and preventing the milder, wetter air from reaching us. Instead, it opens the door for much colder air to spill down from the Arctic. The jet stream, which is a fast-moving ribbon of air high in the atmosphere, is forced to bend and loop around this block. As a result, it can send frigid air from the Arctic and Scandinavia directly toward the UK, setting the stage for a significant drop in temperatures. On the eastern side of the block, winds shift and become northerly or even northeasterly. This change in wind direction acts like a conveyor belt, funneling cold, often dry air straight from the polar regions into the British Isles. Sometimes these winds can be biting, making it feel even colder than the thermometer suggests. The exact position and strength of the Greenland Block are crucial. If the block is strong and sits just right, we might experience dry, crisp, and sunny winter days, perfect for frosty mornings and clear blue skies. But if the block shifts, or weakens, it can allow moisture to sneak in, leading to damp, cloudy, and even snowy conditions, especially in eastern and northern parts of the UK, but the main effect is always the same. The Atlantic is shut out, and Arctic air takes over. This means our usual pattern of mild, wet winters is replaced by something much colder and often more dramatic. The weather can change quickly, with sudden drops in temperature and the risk of wintry showers. This setup is becoming increasingly likely as we move into mid-November. The signs are all there: falling temperatures, bare trees, and a noticeable chill in the air. It's a classic signal that the Greenland Block is taking hold, and that a new phase of weather is about to begin. It's the classic recipe for the UK's first real taste of winter. For many, this means the first snowfall of the season, icy mornings, and a landscape transformed by frost and snow. It's a time when the country braces for colder days and the excitement, or dread, of wintry weather. So, get ready for a dramatic shift in the weather. The Greenland Block is setting the stage for a wintry transformation, and the next few weeks could bring some of the most memorable weather of the season. With the Greenland Block in place, how cold will it get? Cold air from Scandinavia and the Arctic will sweep in, dropping temperatures sharply. Expect daytime highs of just 2 to 5 degrees Celsius, with widespread frosts overnight. Wind chill from the North Sea will make it feel even colder. Winter coats, hats, and gloves will become essential. Outdoor plans may need adjusting, and motorists should watch for icy mornings. Ensemble forecasts show a strong trend toward much colder conditions, with some runs even colder than average. The mild start to November will soon feel like a distant memory. While the signal for a mid-month cold snap is strong, some uncertainty remains. Models agree on the Greenland Block but differ on its exact strength and position. Small changes could mean the difference between dry, crisp cold and cold, wet conditions. A cutoff low could bring cloud, rain, or sleet instead of clear skies. Ensemble forecasts help gauge the range of possible outcomes. Most runs point to a colder than average spell, but the details are still evolving. The key message: aber ein nächster. Expect a shift away from Atlantic mildness. Stay tuned as the forecast sharpens in the coming days. To sum up, the UK is on the verge of a major weather shift this November. The month starts mild, wet, and breezy, more autumn than winter. But by mid-month, a Greenland Block will likely bring the first real cold spell, with frosts and daytime highs barely above freezing. The change will be abrupt, marking winter's true arrival. While some uncertainty remains, the consensus is strong: prepare for colder weather. Now's the time to get your winter gear ready and plan for possible travel disruptions. Keep an eye on updated forecasts as the details become clearer. Enjoy the last of the mild air, but be ready for the chill. Winter is knocking at the door. Are you ready?